The Congress is in a race to overtake Pakistan when it comes to insulting Operation Sindoor. After Rahul alleged that Prime Minister Modi surrendered and agreed to a ceasefire with Pakistan, after a call from US President Donald Trump today, Congress stepped up its attack, calling the External Affairs Minister S Jaishankar as Parajay Shankar. Launching a fierce attack, the BJP accused leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha of treason and insulting the valor and courage of the armed forces. BJP MP Nishikant Dubey shared excerpts from a letter Nehru wrote to the Chinese premier, which he claimed illustrated a submissive tone. According to Dubey, the letter stated that China had occupied 20,000 square kilometers of Indian territory in the east and 6,000 square kilometers in the west and had taken 4,000 Indian soldiers hostage. He further alleged that Nehru sent the Sri Lankan Prime Minister as a mediator for surrender and was awaiting China's instructions. Take a look.
Director General of Military Operations of Pakistan called the Director General of Military Operations of India at 15:35 hours earlier this afternoon. It was agreed between them that both sides would stop all firing and military action.
जैसे उधर से ट्रंप ने एक इशारा किया, फोन उठाया, कहा मोदी जी क्या कर रहे हो, नरेंद्र सरेंडर, और जी हजूर करके नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने ट्रंप के इशारे का पालन किया।
के साथ एक और नवरत्न है आपके कैबिनेट में, क्या नाम है, पराजय शंकर। अब पराजय शंकर चुप है बहुत दिनों से। पराजय शंकर चुप इसलिए हैं कि बेचारों को बोला जाता है अभी आप जवाब दो, फिर जवाब देते हैं तो ट्रोल हो जाते हैं। आप हो सकते हैं पराजय शंकर, ये देश कभी पराजित नहीं हो सकता, भले ही इसका विदेश मंत्री पराजय शंकर हो।
All right, let's go across to our guest. Shehzad Poonawala, national spokesperson of the BJP. Sanjay Jha, author, continue to be with us. We're also joined by Nahid Lari Khan, national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Sanjay Jha, I understand Congress Party does not want to believe the Prime Minister, the Raksha Mantri, the External Affairs Minister, or even the DGMO for that matter. But then at least believe Pakistan. Because the Pakistani Prime Minister says, yes, India inflicted damage, BrahMos missile chalai, raat ko pata chala, 2 baje, 3 baje phone aaya, that our air bases are under attack. At least believe them.
Swati, good evening. I think that there are 2 points I wish to make. First and foremost, the entire opposition and the Congress has stood with the government ever since the horrific Pahalgam terror attack happened and right through Operation Sindoor. But kindly do not believe that the opposition asking questions of the government on foreign policy or national security is mutually exclusive from the support it is giving the government on any military operations that we did against Pakistan. In fact, everybody lauded what we did. The fundamental points that the opposition is raising, and I followed the press conference today, I think a lot has been triggered by 2 things really. Number one is Donald Trump's announcement of the ceasefire and then the public announcements by us, which frankly speaking, I think every Indian in this country, no matter what clarifications the government has given thereafter, has looked like a third-party intervention. And that statement, and though if you look at the tweets carefully, they talked about internationalizing Kashmir. They talked about a broad range of issues to be talked at a neutral site. Donald Trump went on to say that I use trade as an instrument of pressure to get both the countries to back off. And I think these have all sent a very wrong signal. And my second point, Swati, before we move on, is the fact that the BJP has so blatantly and brazenly started doing a whole political marketing during this time. When it says Operation Sindoor is still on, well, in that case, this is an absolutely unethical and immoral to indulge in a marketing campaign, and actually that insults the Indian Armed Forces. So I believe the Indian Armed Forces should be left independent of this conversation, and we should focus on the fact that as political parties, this is not the way to conduct oneself.
But what kind of a support is this to the government when you cast aspersion on everything, every statement that is made? You're not even ready to believe the DGMO who said that we got a call from the Pakistani DGMO and we agreed to the ceasefire understanding. Despite all of that, Rahul Gandhi says surrender kar diya. Is Rahul Gandhi talking about Narendra Modi, or is he talking about India and painting a very, very wrong picture about India surrendering to Pakistan? Now, let me bring in Shehzad Poonawala. Shehzad Poonawala, Sanjay Jha again reiterating his argument that we're just asking questions and not mix up the issue. We're not questioning the armed forces.
No, let me show how Sanjay's party was standing with the government. Within 24 hours, Pahalgam was done because of Hindutva, Robert Vadra. Saifuddin shows believe Pakistan when it says it's not involved. Karra start talking to Pakistan. Siddaramaiah don't take strong action. Ajay Rai and Channi mocking the armed forces. After Operation Sindoor took place, Khadge calls it chutput. Alka Lamba confuses it with Blue Star. Vijay Vadatiwar asks how many rupees missiles were sent. Gulam Mir says thodi si activity hui. When the Kutnitik strike, the diplomatic strike was taking place, the parliamentarians are compared with whom? Terrorists by Jairam Ramesh. This is the support that they have extended. Now, secondly, they have asked about the Trump issue. Trump himself has said, I have not mediated. That you won't believe. He has said it's a 1,000-year war between India and Pakistan. Do you believe that also? And on the issue of Trump, DGMO, MEA has clarified multiple times, but SMS, Salman, Manish and Shashi has also clarified. But Triple R will not listen to SMS. Triple R meaning Ramesh, Revant and Rahul. They want to do PPP, Pakistan Parast Party. Anyway, now let me come to the next point. They have said political marketing. Sanjay, really? 10 days ago, your party was chanting, Indira ko yaad karo. Indira went with axe to make two parts of Pakistan. And in page 45 of the 2024 manifesto, you have said, Congress has defeated Pakistan in 65 and 71. I am quoting the right statement. You please go and see. That is called political marketing. Now, last point I'm coming to, that when you say that we have surrendered or Prime Minister surrendered, Prime Minister has not gone to fight the Pakistani terrorists and the armed forces there. It is the armed forces. So are you saying that Operation Sindoor was a failure? And today when the Pakistanis have admitted that 28 sites were hit, Shahbaz has also admitted how they have got stuck. At that time you are saying this means very clearly that you are the ones who are batting for the Pakistani narrative and perhaps even for the Chinese narrative.
So the opposition has its own narrative going, Ms. Khan, that is giving a long rope to Pakistan, fodder to Pakistan, opposition leaders being talked about in Pakistani media. All these statements are being used to tell the world, listen, this is what is happening in India. Indian politicians and opposition believe India has surrendered.
No, opposition is not being talked about in Pakistan. It's BJP leader who was being talked about in Pakistan. Was the headlines in Pakistan when he went to Pakistan without informing the country. He went to Pakistan to eat biryani. Then it was headlines in Pakistan. And it was the Indian media, Indian media, who was the headlines in Pakistan when during Operation Sindoor, all fake news were being circulated on most of the news channels that the government had to issue an advisory to the media, to the various channels, not to spread fake news and not to incite fear among people. So it's not the opposition.
Right. Akhilesh Yadav is not part of the opposition. Rahul Gandhi is not part of the opposition.
No.
So when Pakistani media talks about these leaders, they are not opposition.
Now you have to tell me how Honorable Akhilesh Yadav ji is being talked about in
Akhilesh
Pakistan.
Yadav's statements were cited. His statements were cited in Pakistani media. Ms. Khan, you have your own narrative going around, despite the DGMO saying that we got a call from the Pakistani DGMO asking for a ceasefire understanding. Do you also agree that India surrendered?
If you call me, allow me to speak. Otherwise, you can continue your conversation with Mr. Poonawala. What's the need of calling any opposition?
Mr. Jha is also there on the panel. He also spoke, ma'am. Finish your point.
You didn't interrupt him, no?
Finish your point.
You didn't interrupt. What was the need of calling Samajwadi Party if you have to continuously keep on interrupting?
Finish your point, ma'am.
Akhilesh Yadav ji and Rahul Gandhi ji, they didn't go to Pakistan. It is BJP leader who went to Pakistan. Beat Modi ji, beat Atal ji, he took a bus to Pakistan. Arwani ji, he went to Jinnah's Mazar and he cried then and he said, Jinnah, he was a very nice man. It was BJP who went to Pakistan. And if you talk about leader opposition, Rahul Gandhi ji, he went to Punch. He went and he met the victims of Pahalgam. He went to Manipur. And what about BJP leader? He went to Bihar after the Pahalgam.
Right. The debate is not about who went to Pakistan and who did not.
So you don't want me to
The debate is not about who went to Pakistan and who did not. I gave you your time. I gave you your time. You choose to not speak on the issue. I am completely out of time now. When I gave you the time, ma'am, you did not speak on the issue. It's not about who went to Pakistan or not. It's about the kind of statements that are being made. The narrative that is being peddled that shows India in bad light. I'm completely out of time. Sanjay Jha, Shehzad Poonawala and Ms. Khan, thank you for joining us.